Radios.
Yep.
Yols.
Gotta love it.
All pro.
History in the making.
The lady and the gentleman.
Welcome back to the studio.
So, is that like a golden move? I felt like you were trying to Tiger Woods that.
I did. It was my tribute to Tiger.
Oh, okay.
Good old
Okay.
T Money. T Dub. Back. He's back.
Yeah, but were you supporting him when he was down?
I was.
Okay.
I supported him by not saying anything at all.
Well, hey, that's
support.
It's better than
Bashing.
I mean, and they have an entire video, like 8 minutes long, of literally every sportscaster bashing him, including Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. So it was funny to see. I'm like, woo! Everybody's gonna be looking at all these shows today to see what they got to say about it.
Right.
Because everybody literally was like, oh, he's washed up, he's trash, he's washed up.
And it kept getting worse. Like,
yeah, it was entire just like, yeah. Oh, you're gonna make it okay. Oh, wow, that's how you feel. Whoa. Tiger just sitting and grinning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to T-Dub though. Came back, showed them what it is. So, talking about back, welcome back, Yols.
Yeah, thanks.
You've been gone for a little bit. Then I was gone for a little bit. Actually, I'm sorry, you was gone for a little bit. Then when you came back, I was gone for a little bit.
No, we were going at the same
We
time.
were going at the same time, that's what I thought.
But I just kicked you out and then recorded the females, and then I got back home. And
then showed up and recorded the males.
Yeah.
It's all good though. Maybe like
I was in the back scouring. Like
scouring.
Next time, make sure they listen to the previous episode before they start assuming about the lady. Just saying.
Hey, I feel you though. Yeah, here we go. I'm trying to find like the perfect spot for this mic. It's like it's not the right way. Camera's not gonna get it. If it's too far this way, it's blocking my view of you. So I think
first of all, you have it jacked up in the air. You never have it jacked up that high.
I know, but you can see. Maybe I can see it. Yeah, no, I'm not even going. Sometimes it seems like stuff in here we made glass. So I'm just not gonna touch it. That's good. We're gonna work with that. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we can hear you.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
And y'all hear me on YouTube. Y'all can hear me? Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. So, you know what happens when the music changes? It's time for that jab.
In a few weeks.
I haven't. It's been a few episodes.
Yeah, we don't drop.
Actually, yeah.
Like nobody would know we've been dropping boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
would know we hadn't even been in the studio.
That's how we do. All right. We got a whole different set of clones. Just ready to take over whenever we be
video and everything, like
everything.
Wait a minute, ain't you in Africa? You dropping the episode?
Still going live.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do though is it's time for a jab.
Okay.
It's time for a jab. Now this jab goes out to the National Hockey Association, NHL for short, in case y'all don't know that. Let me pull up these people's names. So, real quick now, a couple days ago, I'm going to go ahead and admit I don't follow hockey. I don't watch it. I have been to a hockey game before.
Okay.
It is an experience.
Okay.
NFL games, it's fun. It's an experience. Unless it's if it's a shootout type of game, there's touchdowns back and forth.
Right.
It can be pretty good, pretty intense the whole game.
Right.
Basketball, generally you get to the fourth quarters when everybody start waking up. It's a close game, especially if it's a playoffs. Hockey, nah, turned from the first second.
Oh, okay.
Turned all the way through. Part of the reason for that is the fights.
Oh, okay.
So, here's the thing though.
I would have to be asked and to go. I won't volunteer.
You won't volunteer to go?
No, I'm good on that.
I think the only reason I went was because my brother got free tickets.
Oh yeah, see somebody, yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's what you go in. Like I've been to baseball games, but I've never paid for a baseball ticket.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but you gotta think I'm a season ticket holder now. Hell no.
Yeah,
no. I'll be I'll stand out. That's about all I can say there. I'll stand out. But anyway, it definitely is fun though. Pretty intense. Part of the reason for that though is because in football, there's a fight, players get suspended.
Right.
If they're smart enough to take the helmets off.
Right.
And then they'll get suspended for just throwing a punch. Same thing in basketball. Matter of fact, I think they really tighten up on it. You said it again?
It's encouraged in hockey though, from what I'm
absolutely.
seeing. It's encouraged.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, yeah, that's why black people don't do it. When they one black person was in, and then they beat him up. Well, not, I mean, they didn't beat him up, but that was part of the game, of course, and he got, I think he got busted over his head with a hockey puck or something, crap like that. It was bad.
See, this is, and that's part of the jab. Okay. Not him.
Right.
So there's a guy named, the guy from Russia, like most of the hockey players.
They don't like us.
His name is, brother, what is your name?
You need to just say
Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, just Alex.
Yeah.
Alex O. Okay.
Yeah. So he goes against, I got it. Yeah. He's one of the vets in the game. Okay. It's about 6'3", 235. Okay. Literally is about the size of Luke Kuechly. All right. So you got a professional linebacker out there on skates. Yeah. Now, there was a guy named Andrei Svechnikov. Okay. Probably murdered that name.
Probably.
Now,
Alex and Andre. Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a black conversation.
They do.
Okay.
They do. And so Andre is just as tall, 6'3". Andre is 50 pounds lighter. Okay. Alex and Andre been kind of, I guess, matched up against each other because they're in the playoffs now. So they've matched up against each other like, the whole time. Right. And I guess Andre got tired of it. He's like, hey, you know what, man? I'm sick of your shit, man. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's not how it sounded. It's probably like, hey, I'm like sick of your shit. Yeah. Right, let's go. Let's fight. Okay. And I guess the universal sign for like fighting in a hockey game is you take off, or you throw down with the stick, and then you kind of like throw off your gloves. Mm-hmm. It's like where they just get bare knuckles. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem: him deciding to challenge the guy that's 50 pounds heavier than him, but he gives him I wouldn't say a 2-piece. It was a 3-piece. Knocks Andre out. Okay. Completely knocked out. Yep. Here's where the jab comes in at. You see, why is it that in football, basketball, baseball, other sports, one punch thrown, suspension, fines? You know what they gave Mr. Alex Ovechkin as he knocked out this dude, gave him a concussion, and then looked at the camera and said, if he dies, he dies. I ain't do all that, but still.
Well, that's hockey though.
This is hockey. You know what they gave him? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And the penalty box.
Yeah. Now I at least know that.
Yeah. But
so that's the jab.
That's the jab. I want to know.
You upset because you get beat down and you only get 5 minutes in the penalty box.
Yeah. No, this dude was like, he basically like bullied the guy.
I get it.
But still, it's like, that's it. But see, it's like, what's the name? Richard Sherman like went off like it was a few years back when he had like the game-saving block for pass deflection or whatever. Basically, that sent them to the playoffs or sent them further in the playoffs. And all he did was just in a moment of really feeling himself, it was like, I'm the best cornerback in the game and all that. He gets called a thug.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? They get called thugs for, especially if they, they fight.
Maybe we need to just choose hockey as a sport instead of football and basketball. That way we get our aggression out.
Possibly. But
it's going to need to be a mass of us. It can't be the one like, buddy. Because like I said, that's what happened to the black guy. They had a whatever, and then he actually got hit with a puck, like cracked his head open. He was done. Yeah. So, I mean, he ain't died nothing, but yeah, he was like, I'm done.
I don't blame him. So, but my point is that, like I said, any other sport, you fight, you label a thug, you get suspended. Why is it that hockey? You get 5 minutes, and that's it, and you go right back out there. It kills me, and I'm not one to bring up race, very often. Matter of fact, I just went to San Diego for a bachelor party. I was the only black guy. All right, rented an Airbnb, 3 white guys. Had the time of my life. Not because we were in California. There's a lot of things you can do in California that you can't do here. But I just had the time of my life.
There you go.
But that shit right there, 5 minutes.
Just saying.
I need the commissioner of the NHL stand up like shoulders, throw off your gloves. I'm throwing my gloves off and accept this jab to the back of the throat.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little
louder.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was very weak.
No, I actually thought your jab was going to be about the Notre Dame fire.
How did that? So let's go ahead. Let's go right in because we're doing a recap episode.
Yeah,
right?
So it's a recap. Yeah. So Notre Dame is one of them. It's one of the most recent. But I thought because my jab would be that I had so many when I was but no, it wasn't the fact that it was a fire. I know it is a very monumental piece of architecture for the Paris community.
This is older than our whole country, right?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, I think I read some random fact about it.
No, the thing that was pissed off was the president, the White House said that they were going to offer help to rebuild Notre Dame. And everybody's like, so we got Flint, we got Puerto Rico still struggling.
Puerto Rico, yeah. That's
And there was three black churches, historical black churches in Louisiana that caught fire days prior to the Notre Dame. Dang. But you gonna go send money over to Paris. Now mind you, before the White House even said that they were gonna help them out, a billionaire has already put up $300 million. I mean, they already had like probably close to $1 billion worth of money being donated. Right. We need to focus on the United States.
Yeah.
And then what pissed me the hell off is Trump said we need to help them because that's a part of our culture. Sir, that's not a part of the United States culture at all. It's not even, it might be a part of the Catholic culture.
All I can do was laugh.
But yeah, he was like, it's a part of our, it's a staple in our culture.
I feel like he just typing stuff on Twitter and autocorrect.
This wasn't even Twitter. This was this is
Voices.
Yeah, this was like with the press secretary. Yeah, this was like. So I'm just like, are you kidding? Like everything that's going on in the United States, you're gonna send money over to a cathedral that's worth $1.8 billion. You know they got insurance, so
I mean,
and then you have about 5 or 6, natives of Paris. Mm-hmm. Of the country that's like, you know what, we got it. Like, a billionaire goes, I'm gonna go ahead and church up 600 million.
Yeah,
600
I would have
million.
waited a good 2 weeks.
But since that article came out, people got pissed off. So the black churches that caught fire, they now have over $1 million in donations. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it sucks that it took an article stating that the White House was going to help.
Right.
And we're sitting here like, you want $1 billion for this wall, but you sending money over here using taxpayer money. What? Come on, man. Like, truly think about this. And then gonna say it's for our culture. No, maybe for the Catholic folks.
Yeah. The funny thing is that he'll flip it later on.
Yeah.
Say, I only said those things to excite people.
I haven't personally went to see it. Like I said, most architecture in most of these countries are beautiful. But I mean, what nobody rescuing anything in ancient Egypt when Napoleon when France. The same country went over to Egypt. That's why the Sphinx ain't got a nose. Napoleon just blowing shit up.
His old 5-foot ass.
So I'm just thinking like,
for those that don't know, that's where the Napoleon complex comes from.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking like, so France goes over to Africa and blows our monuments and shit up, but we as United, come on, man.
Speaking of Africa, we just got back.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was amazing. It was amazing.
It's everything that most people say it
is. It's beyond that. It is beyond that.
Which is why I have to go.
Yeah, I recommend everybody of African descent, whether even if you're mixed, if you have like a drop, I recommend you going to. I actually went to Marrakesh, Morocco, and Cairo, Egypt, but both were very educational. But of course, Egypt is going to give you all the opulence of King Tut and Nefertiti and Ramses and the pyramids and the Sphinx. A lot of stuff. Oh God, a lot of stuff that what you thought you knew in the history books that they telling us over here.
It's levels to that shit.
Oh my God, it was like I was going to school all over again going over there. They was like, oh no, this is what? Oh no, this is what?
That ain't what they told us.
What?
But, and I'm not calling you a liar, but
right.
That ain't what I told us.
Yeah.
That's not what, nah. So
yeah, man. So, but no, it was just the Cairo Museum. So this is interesting. So they're building a bigger Cairo Museum. They've been building it for like ever. That's what the tour guide said, anyways. But once it is complete, it will be the largest museum in the world because there are so many ancient Egyptian artifacts that the current Cairo Museum is only showing 20% of the artifacts.
Well, where the rest?
They have it
in storage.
Yep, have it in storage.
Sitting in a U-Haul truck.
Yep, and they just kind of switch it out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So rotation.
Yeah. I mean, of course, the biggest two rooms that, of course, are standing is King Tut's riches and the mummy room where you actually get to see legitimate mummies.
Right.
Which was, an awe in itself. Got to see, the Ramses.
Yeah.
Great Ramses. Yeah. He's very big. He was tall, about 6'1", 6'2", big stature. the fact that
football player.
Yeah,
basically.
the fact that I
Yeah.
can, but that just further lets you know.
Wait, hold on. How long ago did Buddy die?
It was like they said it was like 4,000 BC. So the fact that the mummification process that they had, ancient Egyptians had, like I could see his hair, nails, teeth. Yeah. So you could technically like really
Basically
see
look
who
at
he
him.
was.
Right.
Yeah.
What's crazy
Yeah.
is that you go to a funeral for those that physically pay their respects and go by
Yeah.
going up to the coffin. I mean, if the funeral is more than like 3-4 days after the person passes away, like.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like they explain what they know of the mummification process because
Mhm.
they can't, 100% duplicate it. They can duplicate it, but not to the point where. I mean, you got
Not
like
to that
Ramses
extent.
is like it's 10,000 years
Right.
ago, and he's still sitting here like, oh, I see your skin and your nails.
Right.
It's a long process. Like they sit them out in like the sun to bake and these spices and stuff for like 40 days or something.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a long process.
Okay. I see.
So it takes them a while before they get into the period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you really like 100 days. Your body don't went through a lot.
They, like
I
James
mean,
Brown.
Yeah,
They
like
had James Brown sitting there.
They really
sitting in the. It
Yeah.
was like a preservation room.
Yeah,
For,
so-
how long was it? That shit was months.
yeah.
I said, y'all got to be out of this damn mind.
So I want to go back and go to Alexandria. Alexandria is where a lot of the mystery that is kept from us is.
Mm.
So I didn't get to go to Alexandria. It was a day trip from Cairo, but
Mhm.
it's just so much. I was there a week and it was just still so
So much sleep now. I get it.
It's like
I get it.
Cairo is like 3 days by itself. And
Oh.
then you got to go to Alexandria. And really, Alexandria, because, that's supposed to be the people of Alexandria are the ones who kind of migrated to Cairo and built what ancient Egypt is. That's what they say, anyways. But so, that you've heard of like the Alexandria Scrolls, which pretty much talks about civilization and how they came up with like the king and queen hierarchy. So pretty much the documents of how to create.
Like a civilization.
Yeah. So that's why. Yeah, so Alexandria is very important for our history. Very important.
And
And Morocco was funny because I got to see goats in a tree.
I think I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Did see-
I had to do a video because
the video.
I
Yeah.
had to do the video because when everybody posted the picture of the goat standing in the tree,
Yeah,
everybody thought it was Photoshop.
Right.
So I was like, nah, we're gonna give him video. And it was legit goats, and then you walk up on them, they looking at you like, so I'm
Can I
saying,
help you?
right. You in the way. But yeah, that's how they make argan oil, and that's where, because those are argan trees that they were standing in.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know goats could climb.
Bruh.
And I'm not
So-
even being funny.
So
like,
we all said the same thing. They were like, yo, how did they get up there? So luckily, like, one of the guys, what the people had, like, one of the two of the goats out and people holding it, then they let the goat go. So we actually got to see, like, one of the baby goats literally climb this tree and get up onto a limb. Because we were like, I'll put that there, bro.
Right.
Ain't no way in hell they got up there. I'm like, that's a sturdy ass tree. Okay.
These are just robots.
Right.
Placed
But
up
no,
there.
we actually watched one, like, literally kind of get up in the tree on a limb. I was like,
Just hanging out.
yeah. And he just walked up there, when
Rolling
he got
along.
to the limb, it was like, let me get my foot in the grave. Okay, let me
Getting
pause.
tested.
Let me
Am I
pause.
sliding?
Like, oh,
Am I
oh,
sliding?
oh,
Sliding? Oh.
Yeah, that up there. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell he was like, oh.
He was testing.
Yeah, you can.
Just.
Just.
Just lean a
But
little bit to the
it
left.
legit goats just sitting in the tree looking at you like,
Can I help you?
that's a regular day, bro.
Wow. Playing Madden. Nah, I'm joking.
No, but Africa, I definitely recommend if anybody of African descent to go to Africa. I haven't done South Africa yet, but definitely conquer North Africa.
And just last question about Africa, because I remember you were talking about with the pyramids. You said like one, I don't know if you call it a brick, but it was like one block.
Yeah,
or
one
something.
stone, as far as width and height, is pretty much, if you were to flatten it out, it's the size of a city block. So it's massive. Like, I look like a flea standing beside the Great Pyramid. It's massive. I have videos of that too, just so where I'm like I'm actually in the pyramid. Like I'm standing on the right on one of the stones. Yeah, the pyramids are massive. And it's unreal. Like, even if you go, your eyes still can't believe that this is this massive structure that's, again, another 5,000
They didn't have like construction companies,
and it's made with limestone and alabaster.
which sounds heavy. No,
But you gotta think limestone. And the Sphinx is carved out of the bedrock, which means it's carved out of the earth.
and it's
yeah. So
But weren't they originally like shiny?
Yeah, they were shiny. So it was
yeah.
one of the pyramids. I don't know if you noticed, like if people watch Transformers or if you have a picture of the pyramid, the top of it is smooth.
Yeah.
So technically, the pyramid's origination, the entire pyramid was supposed to be smooth like that. And what that is actually like alabaster and stone, and it was completely slick and shiny.
Mm.
But over time,
Right.
the smooth. Well, let me say this because the pyramid actually is, even the stones are still smooth to the touch. So, but I mean like flat. You can't, the way the pyramids originally was built, you couldn't see the stair step. It was completely like just smooth on all sides. Yeah. Pretty impressive though. Like I said, it's just
some crazy engine.
Yeah, you'd be like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Well, in other news, real quick, this is a geek moment for me, real quick. Let me have this geek moment, 45 seconds. You see how fast I can do. So they just finally put together and released an image of a black hole in space,
yeah, I seen that. Mm-hmm.
which I thought was beyond effing fascinating.
I did too.
So, real quick, for those that don't know, black hole is basically like when you take our sun. Just imagine it. I don't know, literally like 10 million times the size that it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like huge, freaking huge. But take that, and so once the sun basically starts to die, starts to run out of fuel,
Mm-hmm.
it starts to expand. As it expands, the middle of it gets stronger and stronger. Like the very center
Mm-hmm.
gets stronger because anything that has like size and mass has gravity.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger it gets, the stronger its
Right.
gravity gets or whatever. So once it's done, basically like exploding, all that gravity and shit is just going to suck everything back in,
Mm-hmm.
and everything's going to collapse in on itself. And what happens is that the gravity is so strong that any form of anything, which case light, which is a form of radiation,
Mm-hmm.
light can't even escape. That's how strong gravity is, which is why they call it black hole. And they say that the only way that they're able to see those in space, or I guess prior to a couple weeks ago, the only way they were able to theorize that there had to be something existing was because they would see stars like rotating around something.
Okay.
And they'd be like, well, we see them rotating, but they're rotating around nothing. And Einstein, being Einstein, put together, I was like, oh yeah, that's probably what this is. And everybody just kind of was like, oh yeah, and figured out and did like the math and shit. It was like, yeah, this is probably exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening, the reason why that photo is so significant is because everything that everybody has ever said about black holes, which is decades of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we finally just got our first piece of proof of it.
Yeah, because you can't, being that of course we don't exist in the universe, you can't technically see it because
Right.
of course it's a black mass.
Black, exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So it's beyond fascinating.
Yeah.
They say that the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, is a black hole, nowhere near the size of that one.
Mm-hmm.
They said the only reason why we can really see that one is because that shit is like, they said it's 6 billion times the size of our sun. 6 billion. Right.
You won't pass that no time soon.
Here's the crazy part though. Exactly. It's so far away that picture that they just took,
It's still delayed.
it's
technically.
delayed as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So
millions of years.
Yeah, so we late.
Yeah, it might not, honestly, it might not even exist
We in the
anymore.
past. Okay.
Yeah, that's why, like, whenever you see like a star,
Yeah.
flash at night,
Like
this shit is years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, it really could be gone by now.
Yeah.
We would never know. We over here geeking out because we just finally got a picture of it that's 10 million years old. Hey, it is what it is. So
Let's
fascinating.
see. We lost Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey
Yes.
Hussle.
Yeah.
I will say I did not know, and I don't know too. I didn't know the impact that he had. Like that.
Yeah,
on that
I
level.
knew he did stuff. I mean, I knew he was in the community.
Right.
I had seen a few of his interviews. Of course, I had watched the Breakfast Club interview, and I could tell he was a very educated.
Enlightened,
He,
yeah.
enlightened, yeah, because you tell he definitely, especially with the whole Dr. CB thing. But I didn't know to the extent until they like dug into it of what he had, what he was doing. I was like,
Right.
wow, he really was doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then the funeral was nice. And I like how everybody's like, Nick Cannon's continued the documentary. They opened up the rec center that he was building anyways. That he now has the Nipsey Square, and then his family, it's pretty much his family's continuing, which that's what I mean, but it's it's crazy that you have to lose something in order to gain something. You know,
That's it.
and I think, you know, I think it's just the way it happened, but
No, I think
it is what it is. But Chris Darden is representing.
So if
and he pleaded not guilty.
Yeah.
You do realize you was in public, you on film, and like there's a ton of witnesses that can literally identify you, right? Like.
So yeah, I'm gonna weigh in on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna weigh in on that.
So that's definitely the latest. Like. What?
All right. So first off, let's start with who he is real quick. For those that may have somewhat recognized the name, didn't fully recognize it. That was one of the prosecutors.
Chris Darden is. They need to go.
I know. That was one of the prosecutors in the OJ case.
No, I average age. No, 25 and up. No, you should know who he is by now.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. If nothing else, I mean, the documentary came out like what 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The 30 for 30s, the series, the OJ trial series. It was like 5 episodes.
Yeah, that was last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
So still, that's what I'm saying.
Better know.
But yeah, so he's known. Basically, what I'm saying is that he's known for catching one of the most famous L's in history. That's one of them.
Yeah.
But also, so real quick, what they've said already, at least about the suspect, is that
Eric Holder.
Eric Holder. What they have said, thus far was that the guy has a history of like mental illness stuff, which is only a valid defense if they're able to prove that he was basically insane at that time, that particular moment in time.
Bruh, you won't take. That's
No,
all. That's all.
absolutely.
Like I
No,
said, now I do
absolutely.
know, like, when we had the conversation about Zimmerman and all of that, like when it comes to murder, that's why they say don't prosecute on the murder because it needs to be without a shadow of a doubt. Bruh,
Exactly.
you have like witnesses everywhere. And you are on tape.
It was the argument.
He gonna take another L.
Then he came back.
He's about to take another whole L.
No, the only like a true, and I'm not being funny. A true W for Chris Darden is if he's able to get him something like life instead of the death penalty. Yeah, that would be the true win, honestly. And I'm not even being funny. Like whenever lawyers take on cases like that, it's publicity. It's high profile, super high profile. It's publicity.
And he's being privately funded. Anyways, moving on to more positive.
Yeah. All right.
Beyonce.
In a moment when Netflix is losing some people.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. That's another jab. So Netflix was already, for us financial folks that follow stock markets and companies and whatnot. Netflix, of course, went up on their subscriptions, right? Went up on, their monthly fee.
For like the 18th time.
Right. So, and they're just trying, they had shows, and most of the shows that they had are now like they
originals?
have parts of the originals is they're kind of like fizzling.
Mm-hmm.
So they were literally had just seen an article in whether it was Forbes or Wall Street Journal where stakeholders were actually concerned about Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Just because shareholders were concerned about Netflix. They was like, y'all know
corporate Americans, stakeholders.
Yeah,
I got you. I know what you meant though.
Project Manager side. They were concerned because they was like, y'all ain't reaching y'all numbers, bro. Y'all really think y'all gonna make it? Literally, that article comes out, and then it was like, Beyonce dropped a documentary on Netflix. God damn it. And what made me think of it, because I tell Jock, we're gonna talk about, we got to talk about Beyonce's documentary. He goes, well, guess I'm gonna.
I gotta reactivate.
I gotta reactivate my Netflix. I'm like, that's a point to talk about. But yeah, so Netflix is struggling right now. So the Beyonce documentary.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like the reason why.
And she reveals the twins. So.
Oh, she does.
Yes. So technically, Netflix is the first media outlet to reveal the twins.
Is it? So has the documentary dropped yet?
I don't watch it.
Oh, you can watch it. Okay.
I had to prepare.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I watched it because and this is really paying homage. She talks about all through it. If you are African American, if you didn't go to an HBCU, you is mad because that entire documentary is about HBCU. Her and Kelly both talk about how if they wasn't with Destiny's Child, they definitely would have went to an HBCU. How she tried to capture culture, and shouts out like she shows she shows, so the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural Technical State University got a spot on there. But we wasn't the only ones. Of course, they had, don't do that. I'm sorry they didn't show Fayetteville State.
I'm listening.
They had FAMU, whatever. So they showed,
the usual suspects.
But no, what it really was, her drum line is pretty much.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, well, her drum line and the bandmates that was in are all from different HBCUs.
Yeah.
So pretty much she paid homage to each one that was represented in her band.
Was it?
So the blue and gold marching machine.
It's gonna sound crazy. So one of my frat brothers.
Oh, and the Greeks.
My sister is. I want to say she was like a cymbal player. It was something like that. It was something crazy, but it was a lot.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing. So she just talks about how she had the stage and she wanted to pay homage. That's why it's called Homecoming, based off of course, what we love. Because she said that's, living in Houston, that's what she used to, battle of the bands. So that's what she wanted to bring to the stage of Coachella. So she just talks about, like, all the quotes come from the HBCU alumni, graduate, alumnus, or alumni. It was just great. So, and that was like, once I seen, at first I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just catch the highlights, on social media. Then when somebody showed the picture of A&T, I said, I got to go watch it.
Now, let's false story right here, real quick. I'm looking at a picture of Kelly Rowland and her son. And, yeah, here we go. Don't he kind of look a lot like,
I have nothing to do with that. How you know that? Is that a son? That might be the twins. No, it's not. No, the twins are gorgeous, by the way.
I'm sure they are, but yeah. I think S. been sowing his royal oats.
Nah, you need to see her Kelly Rowland's, and you'll see why. But no, it was really good. I mean, you just got to give.
A lot like Jason. It's all the same. Look, I don't know.
You just got to give props for it. And she just talks about her hustle because, of course, Coachella was right after post-pregnancy.
Right.
So she pretty much said she had a difficult pregnancy, and what she did and what she took her body through to prepare, because it was total of 9 months preparation to the day.
For Coachella?
Yeah. So she had the babies, recovered, and then from 9 months to that was Coachella, like literally. So what she took her body through, the dedication, the preparation, you cannot knock that woman's business acumen.
No, I will say
her hustle. You can't knock it.
Her performances, and it's like, if anybody, I don't know. To me, what stood out the most was the Super Bowl from her first Super Bowl, when she was literally, I'm talking about on full 100, full energy. And it's one thing to dance throughout, your backup dance.
Right.
And if you notice in a lot of music videos with someone that can dance, especially like MC Hammer videos, they'll, it's almost like the director tells the backup dancers not to go as hard as the lead, because, they want them outshining, the main person. And so if you look at her concerts, of course, to an extent, she technically shouldn't be able to keep up with them as much because she's singing the entire time. However, she's outplaying them.
Yeah.
The entire performance.
And singing.
She's superhuman.
Yeah.
She's got an extra set of lungs.
It's just a hustle, and that's the thing. So with this documentary, you get to see how she is, who she is when she performs, and I mean, and she even said it shows where she's in the practice learning and she's missing steps. You know what I mean? And everybody's been talking about Blue Ivy because Blue Ivy even corrected her on something in the documentary. Mama didn't do that right. Or this is, So she shows her imperfections, but at the same time, she shows her hustle.
Right.
You can't be, I'm not a Beyonce fan by any means, but I respect hustle. I respect her business acumen. I respect
No, seriously,
it wasn't nothing that came easy. She literally worked for every ounce of everything she got.
Your natural,
you can't even be
your natural God-given talent is only going to take you so far.
Yeah,
it might get you, an interview in front of such and such a person. It might get you, a couple concerts, maybe a tour or two. It ain't gonna get you Michael Jackson level.
It's good though.
You know what I mean?
And it's even funny to watch Jay-Z watch her because he's in, of course, the clips, and she's up here saying we need to da da da. He's just like. I mean, he got the straight like, oh.
Was she talking to him or was she talking?
No,
to
she was talking to I think she's like they were halfway through, and she was like what she expects, and we're not there yet, and how we need. She's like, I appreciate your work, but we still
ain't there yet,
right? And Jay-Z goes, she ends it. He goes, well, everybody get back to work. Like you can tell Jay-Z's like, I'm gonna just sit back and watch greatness, and that's
what you gotta do. Yeah.
But it's just great to see, like, you really see her in her humble moments. You really see her, and she talks about struggling between breastfeeding and being a mom, and still going home, and still rehearsing, and still going over stuff and stuff. And I'm like, you gotta commend this woman, man. Like, you gotta commend her, man.
At the same time, isn't it somewhat easier when that's your full-time job?
What?
Like you don't have to go to work and then rehearse. You know what I mean? Like, rehearsal is work.
Yeah, but you gotta think she's still a mom with infants.
No, exactly.
So
no,
she got
I get
breastfeed,
it. I get it. Yeah. Still
so I
have
think
bottles in the fridge and stuff like that.
And so that's the thing. So she had to, you're working 14-hour days, but you still gotta be. Granted, she don't have to cook the meals, or
right.
And she might have somebody watching the twins, but she still gotta. You still gotta be present. You still gotta be there for Blue with 6, 7. So she's, So I think it's splitting her. It's the time piece. I think that's what people. And it goes back to the whole men-women conversation. It's just like men don't realize how much time is worth for a woman, because we got day job plus mama job plus, wife job. And it's just like, that's the most valuable piece that's hard for women to balance. Mm-hmm. It's just like everybody wants a piece of you and you ain't got time for you.
Yeah.
So, and then and Beyonce said that, and then she has to have her own self-care, like, to remain sane in all of it. So, it's like I said, she lets you in, lets you see her in a very raw way. Mm-hmm. And, between that storyline and then the HBCU storyline and just being black, like, bruh, just make and both of us came from HBCUs. You talk, we go back and forth individually about our schools, but as a unit, bruh, you talk about HBCU, we coming after you, okay?
Nice.
Yeah. But that's why I hit up my homeboy, and I was like, bruh, folks didn't go to HBCU, they mad.
It's yeah, it is what it is. It's hard to say, but it is what it is. Yeah.
It's all about
it's just so much you don't get, because I've done both. You know what I mean? Like, I went to Baylor State, I went to UNC Greensboro, and I also went to a law school that damn sure was not HBCU.
Right. It's just a different level of experience.
It's the calf. You know what I mean? Like the betrayal you feel when you find out your boys or your girls
went to the calf
without shooting.
Right.
How dare you?
You be like, where y'all come from? The calf? Oh, so you just gonna go to the calf without me though? I
don't even know who you are anymore. I'm out. Like,
that's real serious.
Friendships.
The friendships
broken.
You was mad.
This is worse than losing
a space. You be mad at your roommate for a good week.
Yeah, don't talk to me. And I'm dead ass. Like, don't, bruh.
They got to bring you something from the calf that was specific to,
like
whatever
fried
school.
Chicken day or some shit.
Right. You be like, bruh.
No, you.
They come in like, yo, here's a cappuccino from the calf.
Get that shit out of my goddamn face. I don't want that shit. I'm mad as hell. But yeah, you gotta put in some shit. Or showing up to the on campus parties. You ever have like pre-dawn?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay,
pre-dawn. I think Aggie Fest is going on now. So you had, Spring Festival, the spring games and stuff, and like.
So at Fayetteville State, it's called Rodeo Week.
Rodeo Week.
Bronco rodeo.
Oh my God.
Okay. What kind of animal out there is
called? Who I slept on
an Aggie? What is an Aggie? Seriously, what is an Aggie?
Baby bulldog. Don't do that. Don't do that.
This
is not what you want.
It was a legit question. What is an Aggie? Oh damn.
Anyways.
My God. Security. No, anyways, but
I'm messing with
I remember they would have like it was one year they set up like a carnival style type of thing and had like it was legit, like it was like the rides and stuff, but it looked like they got every crackhead in the area to put them things together. I'm scared for my life.
I'm still scared for my life at some of these carnivals.
No, that's true, but it's part of the experience though.
It is.
That's what you laugh about later on down the line.
If it break down, you be like, yo, you remember that time we was on with such and such and it broke down and we was on there and somebody brought me some cotton candy.
Oh man.
We had power outages at A&T, mind you, and the substation was behind the bookstore. So I'm like, bro, and the crazy part was it was always the mail. So you got the substation, the bookstore is in front of it, and literally the mail dorm is across the street. But they always had power. It's like, how are you the closest one to the substation? And y'all, I mean, they would always, power would just go off in the middle of the night. So people would, nah, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even surges. It was just,
just go out.
Just go out.
That's the HBCU experience. Yeah.
Hey, but
It is what it is.
hey, you know what I'm saying? We had to sneak. We wasn't in the era where we had the microwave refrigerator combo, bro. We had to sneak in microwaves and the little pots and stuff. Like we could, bro. We still had the phone with the cord on it. Like, don't do us like that, bro.
Oh, I remember that. And you only had to dial 4 digits to call it.
Call
Yeah,
room.
I remember that. I had post-it notes with the phone numbers on them.
Struggle buses.
Oh, I remember them
These
days.
kids don't know. They got microwaves. I'm like, microwave? You know we had to sneak them things
Because
in?
you couldn't, like, if I was trying to get in contact with somebody, there was no text. There was no DM. There was no email. I had to dial that number and wait for you to call me back. That's what I had to do. And if you didn't call me back, I wasn't going to
That's
answer
what,
questions.
you know, if you had a BlackBerry or people had the BBM to get in touch. And then text messaging wasn't really, it wasn't. It was like the 2-8, still was like kind of like the 2. It was like in between, kind of, sort of, maybe like the text. And then it was like, you know, we didn't have like letters. We had to tap ABC, ABC.
When that T9 dropped, yo, the kid was a pro at T9.
Just saying.
I
So
like
yeah,
your boy on that
so I
T9.
went, so I had memories. I ain't gonna lie, Beyonce took me back like, so cause you know they did the swag surf at Coachella. I was in the house on full swag surf. They was, and I was like, oh shit, by myself,
You got,
in the house, swag surf.
I tell people too, I'm like, listen, move out the way.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
And it'd be so funny, like all my college friends, we're like, bro, when we gonna get tired of the swag surf? Tired of the swag surf. And we even do it in the club now, because even when we was out, even in Africa, even when we was out going to the clubs, we was like, bro, ain't nobody trying to do this. Beat drop. We swerve.
We can't help it. We can't help it. It's just
We up
like,
there
I'm
just
like,
surfing.
it's like, yo, I just had spinal
I'm not
surgery.
gonna do it. I'm not gonna get in. And
I just got the spinal surgery. All right, but don't turn that music on, man. And then you can't help it. You gotta jump right into it. It'll happen.
because that's what happened. Because Beyonce, I was like, oh, they swag surfing. Then she was like, oh, I was surfing. It was
Also,
over that.
what other dances was out back then? It was under Percolator.
That's when reggae, you know, Little Vicious, Freak, you know, was killing reggae back then, because reggae was on it back then.
It was almost. It's almost like it was the brand new thing, which it wasn't. Nowhere near new, but I don't know. It was like a new wave of reggae song, reggae music.
I know it. We was grinding on everything. Everything. Because Sean Paul was
Sean
back
Paul, damn, that's it. What was what was the name of
she
that
brought
song?
that out too?
What was the name of that song when they was in the basement? It was like a house party in the basement. I can't remember the name of the damn song.
So and that song that you talking about, so they was on the stage grinding like it was a gym jam. Come on now.
Like another pre-dawn. I remember we would have
She took me back.
in the pre-dawn we would go to the calf and have
So
breakfast.
she's remade Before I Let Go. You know, the Frankie Beverly.
Everybody knows the words to Before I Let
But
Go.
so she remade it and she's added in some. It's about to be this whole new summer mix when that thing come on now.
She got a nice band.
She
though.
got it mixed in with Cameo.
That's not bad.
And
I can see that work.
like you got
I
to
can
listen
see
to
that
it.
work.
You can be like, oh my God, yeah, I'm telling you.
I remember one song she did, and she threw in Anita Baker, and it worked. It was really good. It was really good. But like I said, her band is fire. It's all women too, all women.
But I think did we recap for that went on? Yeah, Beyonce, Notre Dame. What else? I think we hit everything.
I'm just really to go back to Netflix.
Oh yeah, Netflix.
I'm just still pissed because they hadn't even bothered to send like a "we missed you" email.
They're not going to, bro.
I mean,
Let it go, bro.
they cocky now. That's what that is. We're gonna raise prices, and whoever leaves. Deuce.
Oh, Justice Smollett.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but whatever. You know, he didn't do it, and now Chicago's suing him because
Right.
I was like, but y'all let
And
him
he's
off,
holding
so.
strong. So he's either A, he know that he need to die with the lie, or B, is I don't know. Hey, I'm here for the ride.
Yeah.
Here for the show.
Yeah, but I think we covered everything.
About everything else?
Yeah. And we back next couple weeks with guests, so yeah.
Oh man, we are. And real quick though, I thought this was really funny. Somebody just asked me, was like, did they make Empire as part of like a what do they call it, like a spinoff from Hustle and Flow? And I was like,
it's not though.
It's not.
It was originally was supposed to be part of, because Jesse Smollett's character was what Lee Daniels went through with his father.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first part of it was like kind of Lee Daniels telling his story.
Right. But
And then it morphed into God, whatever it is now. So
they said Taraji P. Henson was like they reached out to her and wanted her to be what's her name, and she said she don't do it if she brought in Lucius. I forgot his name.
Terrence Howard.
Thank you, Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but yeah, originally it was supposed to be like Lee Daniels thing, but yeah, because like the first episode or something where his dad, he was gay, and his dad, like Terrence Howard's character, threw Jesse in the trash. Like that literally happened to Lee Daniels. He said.
Yeah.
So he said that scene was tough for him. I'm like, okay, nice way to make it about you, but okay. All right. And now we got, it is what it is now. I don't.
And whatever the next show is that comes on after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't watch it.
Promote Blackish. Like I like Blackish. It's like the new age Huxtables.
What was the other one that spin off of that? Was it Youngish or?
Oh, Grownish.
Grownish. That was it.
That's
Grownish.
actually pretty good. Granted, she is not at HBCU, but I watched it, and the experience that she has as a college student, like,
Legit.
taking sleeping pills to stay up for exams, and being addicted to stuff,
yeah.
and like she really like relationships and,
like she in medical school or
friendship.
something.
No, but it does. I think it's a good. It's just like kind of like how Different World was. So instead of it being HBCU, so Blackish took the Cosbys, and then the spinoff, of course, is Grownish, which is like the Different World.
But
So
were they popping pills though? Or not to say popping pills, but they doing stuff to.
Yeah, you remember all the, they got. Remember because Kim, she was taking the pills because she was medical school.
Because she was just,
Yep.
that's right.
And it's so crazy, but they honestly, like I said, Grownish is good. It still handles all the. I haven't seen if there's been because there was domestic violence on Different World. I haven't seen if that's happened yet in relationships. But yeah, it's pretty much. It's a good. I think it's a good show. It's pretty much like I said, the new age. Grownish is the new age, Different World, but it's not taking place in a.
And a Different World was just its own.
Yeah.
That was its own thing to me.
So.
I don't think there'll ever be like another Different World. But, anyways, we gotta wrap it up.
Yep.
We appreciate y'all coming back, hanging with us as we recap next week. The episodes will be getting good. We'll be doing another what is it? What women want, what women want.
Oh yeah, we'll bring both.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. We gotta coordinate schedules. But in the meantime, appreciate y'all for listening. See you when you see you.
Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Goodbye.